All right, addicts, check this out. We have the guys from Small Town Titans calling in tonight. Guys, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Cool, man. You gonna take a second to introduce yourselves and tell us what you do in the band?
All right, yeah, I'll go first. My name is Ben Giles. I'm a guitar player at Small Town Titans.
I'm Johnny Ross. I'm the drummer.
And my name is Phil Freeman. I am the vocalist and guitarist. Unfortunately, our bassist Eddie, he is unfortunately not with us. He's experiencing some technical difficulties with his phone. So,
wah, wah, wah.
So, how long you guys known each other? When did you guys first meet?
That's a good question. Do you mind if I take this, guys?
Go ahead, dude.
Yes, absolutely fine.
We all met at Lebanon Valley College. I was a senior in, it was my senior year, and Johnny and I have always been good friends through college, and we were throwing around the idea of getting together to jam with a couple of our other buddies. And I had known about Ben through a couple of friends, and it was really the first time that him and I met, and we got together, we jammed, and from that point we realized that we had something really good going on at that point, and we decided to continue with it, and it's gotten to the point where, today we're
Created a
doing shows,
beautiful.
yeah, we're doing shows with national acts and playing all over the place. Every weekend is booked, and
I think that was like May of 2011, if I remember right.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So we've only been together for about a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, how'd you guys decide on the name?
Bill, you can take that one.
Well, actually, for the longest time growing up, I've been a guitar player, and I was always attracted to like the heavier side of the guitar, and I always wanted to be in a band and name it Titan. And then little did I know, when I met Phil, he had the name Small Town Titans in his back pocket for the longest time. And after that first day that we jammed, he said something about naming the band Small Town Titans, and I just bought it hook, line, and sinker, and so did the rest of the guys. It was a very easy decision for us.
It was a bit of a coincidence. I think the only thing that Johnny didn't like about it was the fact that small was in the name. But
yeah, that's right. Like the first week, I was like, I refuse to be in a band with the word small in the name. It's completely ridiculous. But you know what? So the other cool thing about it was, you come up with a band name, you Google it, you see if it's trademark, copyright, all that. We never found any kind of hard rock, metal type of band with Titan in the name. We didn't find a Titan. We didn't find anything with Titan in it. And we were like, this is unbelievable. Like, Titan is such a cool word. It means, like, unstoppable, powerful guy, soldier of war. Like, how could that not be used, And so we were amazed. We were just like, it rolls off the tongue. It's a name that our singer had in his back pocket for a while, and it works, man. There's a ring to it, so we stuck with it.
Cool, guys. So, how would you describe your music to people?
This one's fun.
Yeah, if somebody asked me to describe our music, it's the hardest question to answer because we kind of pride ourselves in, I guess we're rock and roll, no doubt about it.
Right.
But to describe our music, there's a lot of bands that come to mind, and we all have different influences. Like our bass player is a metalhead. I grew up listening to hard rock, rhythm and blues. John listens to a lot of the classic metal and stuff, and Phil listens to a lot of
I will go from the hardest stuff like Norm Jean and Pig Destroyer and all that other stuff to Bon Iver and Nathan Reich and Murder by Death. It crosses the gamut. All of our musical tastes cross the gamut, and we have such diversity amongst all of us.
If we had a band iPod, it would be
it would be epic. It would be all 7 colors of the rainbow and everything in between.
As far as to give like an idea of what we sound like to a listener that they want to check us out, I'd say there's a Volbeat vibe to it. I think we're a heavier band. We got double bass in there, a little bit of an Avenged Sevenfold type thing going on. Phil's a really good harmonica player, and so I like to throw Volbeat in there because they've got the harmonica mix in there. I mean, there's a little bit of shine down in there, but then, you know, we have a tune we're working on with a banjo in it, man. I mean, it is tough to describe it.
Cool.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's hard to, you know, it's really hard to put yourself into a peg, especially when the most important thing is to consider what your fans think. What do they think you sound like? And it may be something completely different from what we think we sound like. So it's all up to the eye of the beholder.
Man, I've had people tell me that we sound like, sort of like Sevenfold, Shine Down. Somebody told me Creed once. That confused me. But somebody told me Disturbed. I mean, as far as the genre goes, like Creed. It's melodic hard rock, but definitely has a nice bite to it, man, for sure.
Cool, guys. Well, let's talk about the songwriting. Now, is it a one-person effort? Is it a group effort?
Definitely a group effort.
It's group, yeah.
A lot of times I'll come to band practice and I'll have a couple guitar riffs that I've been playing for like the longest time since I can remember, and I'll just play them for the band, and you know, if they like, oh man, that's really awesome, you know, let's work on that, let's make that into a song, or like I'll just play it and then everybody else will just join in, and you know, Phil kind of improv lyrics, and John like throws a drum beat down, and that's kind of how Party in Hell was written.
Yeah, and usually how it was written. Yeah, and usually once in a while, guys will just start working on a riff, and I'll just go into a room by myself for like 10 to 15 minutes, work on the lyrics, come back with it, jump in like, you know, an excited little schoolgirl. They don't hear the lyrics. And I'll start singing them, and we'll test it out with the riff, and it certainly works out to be a great collaborative effort. So
yeah, we almost never have a situation where somebody comes in and goes, guys, I wrote a song, I got the lyrics, the melody, the chord progression, the beat, I got it all. I want to teach it to you, see what you think, and let's do it. I don't think we've ever done that yet. It's been, here's a riff, here's a melody, here's an idea lyrically. Sometimes there might not even be music. I came up with an idea a few weeks ago that was, you know, that's all it was. It was an idea. There was no music to it, and it's sitting in our pocket. I mean, there's no rules to it at all, which is fun, which is really cool, I think. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
There are no rules. It's very true.
Cool, guys, cool. All right, we got a comment here in the chat room from Matcha. I believe that's how you pronounce it. She wants to know, what did you mean on Facebook about a big announcement you guys might be making?
Do we let it loose, gentlemen?
Let it loose, bro. Let it loose.
Then we might as well. This is our official public announcement, and we're making it right here exclusively on this radio station.
Static Radio.
Yes. We are making a record with Jason Rubel at Seventh Wave Studio, a full-length album. But that's not the only thing. John, if you want to take it away.
I mean, everybody makes a record. We want to really, really push making this record. We want to put something out that we're all really proud of, and we don't want to just put out a record. We want to get people involved as much as possible. We're going to have some pricing options. You know, we're going to have a funding campaign, which is getting popular these days. But we really plan to go the extra mile. We plan on setting a price range that's going to let you come in and record on the record. Come in and do a backup vocal or play a cowbell. Who doesn't want to play the cowbell, right?
Never enough cowbell, right?
We might let you pick a single for, you know, hang out with the band for a day. We'll come play at your house for a certain fee and have a private party with you. We want to make this the people's record. We want you guys to help us make this record what it can be, because we can't do this on our own. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, that's very cool, man.
I mean, instead of going to a record company where everybody has a certain motive for, you know, profiting off of your sound and what you do, we want to give it to the people that we're actually giving this to. So that way, the people that we are affecting, they're giving us the direction, and we want them to participate as much as possible.
We do that a lot. We reach out to our fans all the time. Facebook lets you make a poll really, really easily. It's really nice. I'll reach out and ask guys, ask guys and girls, what's your favorite cover that we do? My favorite poll that we asked our fans, we said, hey, there's lots of ways you can get music now. There's EPs, there's full albums, there's singles. What do you guys prefer? I was so happy. Overwhelmingly, full album. Our fans want 10 songs or more. They don't want 5, they don't want 1, and I love that.
Cool.
And that's so encouraging. In this day and age where it's all about the singles and the 5-track elongated plays, our fans, our core fans, still want that full-length album. They want that experience, that tangible thing that gets them through the day. So we're going to give it to you. It's really exciting.
That's very cool. Very unique. Very unique. That's really cool, though.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
So now you guys play a lot of live shows. What would you say are the best and the worst things about playing the gigs?
The best thing is the amount of fun that we have doing it, man. Like,
of course,
it's a blast, and sometimes we let our heart and soul out there, and sometimes it feels like you just got done playing a football game or something after our shows, but it's all worth it, and the adrenaline rush, making connections with fans and impacting people's lives in a positive way is like the best thing about it. The worst thing about it is probably
tear it down. Tear it down. I'm gonna cut it.
All the crap that goes along with playing a show, driving all the way there, getting all your equipment there safely, setting everything up, making sure it works perfectly, and making sure that you have open communication lines with the venue, and there's just so many ways for things to go wrong, and it's really hard to eliminate everything. But if everything goes well, we have a great show. That's the time of our lives.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I just wanted to interject there. Yeah, there's no feeling that you can. Being on stage and wearing your heart on your sleeve and putting your soul out there for anybody and everybody. There's no feeling that you can compare that to. So that in itself, the meat of the situation is that nirvana moment in time where it just you are one with the universe essentially. Everything that comes with that, the anticipation for the show, the driving, the making sure that everything is perfect. That's the worst part of the show for me is right before getting up on stage. And once we get there and once we're done with everything, I'm blissful. It's the most blissful feeling that you could possibly imagine.
Cool, guys.
The drummer, I'm just going to say tear it down is the worst.
Yeah.
Cymbals, stand, 4 drums, bass pedal. I'm always the last guy to leave the bar. But okay, that's how it works.
We have been getting better at helping each other tear down equipment. For the longest time, we were all just doing our own thing and tearing down our own stuff. But
we got really fast at that in general, I think.
Sometimes the venue would have its own sound, so I wouldn't have anything to tear down. And I would be the moocher. I would be the guy that just get back to the merch table and talk to people while people labor. But that is not the case these days.
Cool. So how about the strangest things you guys ever seen at a show?
Strangest things.
Strangest things. So I got one that I can think of off the top of my head, and it's really strange to me, especially because it was so early in our career. One of the first venues that we played, and we still like this place. We still have a great relationship with it. We just haven't been there in a while. It's called 8-1. It's on 422, and it's right in the Annville, Lebanon area, which is 10 minutes from Hershey. We played there. I think it was the second time we were there. We might have been a band for 3 months, and an older woman threw her bra on stage.
Huh.
That's right. Phil picked it up, and she screamed at Phil and was like, no. Johnny. That's what I thought.
For the drop.
and then they gave it to me, and I was like, what? It was, it was one of those cliche underwear on the stage moments, man. And then I think she asked me to sign it. I can't remember. It was like over a year ago. And being so early in our career, that was just phenomenal. I couldn't believe it. So I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So
that was a pretty awfully awkward moment right there.
Also, the funny moments are when you're in the bars doing your thing. Maybe we do acoustic stuff as well. So people that are in the bars, they have easy access to the stage, quote unquote. And people come up and ask us like, "Hey, do you know this song?" It's like, "I'm so sorry, sir. We do not know that song." And then they'll ask us 5 more times. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, there's been countless times where we're standing up there playing a show, and we'll end a song, and then some random person will just run up and say something into the mic, or like, you know, like all kind of crazy things.
It's a beautiful thing.
Remember we did the one at the Hilltop, and we actually, 2 people wanted to like sit at the drum kit, and I let them do it. And we
drum kit,
yeah, and then we all took a picture with them. I mean, I love that shit, man. I love it. They just come up there and they're just, you know, "Hey, can I sit at the drums?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, can I take a picture of you sitting at my drum?" It's great.
Cool.
People having a good time, man.
That's really cool, guys. Well, what do you guys say we play a song right now?
Absolutely, man. Go for it.
Cool. How about Casting the Stones Amongst the Wicked there? What can you tell us about that tune?
Ooh. Haha. May I take
the heavy one, man?
May I take this?
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. You wrote the lyrics, brother.
Yeah, the lyrics, you know, a lot of people might get confused by it, thinking that it's, you know, satanic or something of that nature. But really, it's a political commentary that's based on a book that was written by George Orwell called 1984. There's a lot of all the lyrical content is pretty much based on that book. And the premise of the book is that there's this. It's essentially the hero of the story lives in this world where they have like televisions is like a very communist type of society where everybody is the same, and there's all kinds of propaganda that everybody is told. And you know, I would say there are some parallels to the society that we live in today that are happening, that are parallel to that book. You know, in the book it talks about something called tubular vision machines, and it was predicting the invention of the television. And now that you see televisions all over the place, it's kind of creepy how well that book predicted the future as far as the new inventions and the way propaganda works is concerned. So there's a lot of levels to that song. And
don't forget, man, you got the actual lyrical reference to Big Brother, which is like
that's true.
The be all end all ruler of the story, and we actually have, meanwhile, Big Brother's got his eyes on you in the lyrics of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, guys. All right, addicts, check this out. This is Casting Stones Among the Wicked, and we'll be right back with more Small Town Titans.
The devil may cry, but your mama gonna moan. Yeah, the devil may cry, but your mama gonna moan. As I taste her sweating skin, and we curse your papa's bones. We curse your papa's bones. All rise as the dagger is inserted in the back of an honest man working for his pay, and the way to escape the escalated pressure of a standard American wage. Well, meanwhile, Big Brother's got his eyes on you, watching every move you make, catching everything you do, through the tube that compels you to listen to the tune of the idiot crowd and blabber that defines your next move. Baby, devil may cry, but your mama gonna moan. and I betray the master and confide in those lies that are sacred truths. Among the deaf, dumb, and blind, and claim to see God and that He's opened their eyes. But I've done too much in my sweat, it's too precious to measure the weight in the tears. I decided not to cry on the night you decided to abandon your complicated heart in exchange for a simple mind. Devil may cry, but you're never gonna know. Yeah, the devil may cry, but you're never gonna know. Yes, I taste her sweat and skin, and we curse goodbye with bones. She's casting stones among the wicked as she sells all her innocence. She's casting stones among the wicked. She's casting stones among the wicked.
All right, addicts, we're back with Small Town Titans. Guys, how you doing?
Great, man. Hope
Cool.
everybody dug that casting stone.
Cool. Now, here's a question for each of you. When did you guys first start playing your instruments, and when did you know that this is what you wanted to do for the rest of your lives?
I'll start with that one. Actually, when I was 14 years old, I started playing the piano because my grandmother had a really crappy electric piano, and every time I went over to her house, I noodled on it. And then I actually asked my parents to give me piano lessons. I started playing piano. They bought me the piano. And then after, I'd say a year and a half, I was like, man, I really wish I could do more on the piano than just play piano. I wish I could make different sounds and, get some more of a hard edge. And my brother at the time was a guitar player. So every time he stuck out of the house or he went to hang out with his friends or something, I'd go pick up all his equipment and start playing his guitar. Before you knew it, I fell in love with it. Got my first guitar when I was 16, and ever since I got that, I knew that this is what I was going to do with my life. This has always been my dream to be a musician. So that's where it started with me.
Man, I got a good long story too. I mean, I'm not going to make it too long, but yeah, music's been a lifelong love. I'm told before I could even remember. I'm talking back when I was 3, 4, 5. I just loved music. I loved to sing. I was very charismatic as a child. Apparently, my mom and my family, where I would go camping in the summer, and they would have a lip syncing contest. Really hilarious, actually. Now, if I think about it, because lip syncing is just an awful connotation. But this was a lip syncing contest. This was about dressing up, having a good time, acting up, and imitating somebody, and doing the best you can, and being entertaining. And then you would win awards and all that. I used to do pretty well, apparently. I mean, I don't even remember it, but I was Michael Jackson when I was 7. I mean, it was. I'm sure it was hilarious. And then throughout elementary school, we had music class. The teacher got up air drum, and I immediately was just gravitated towards that. And I thought that was so great. I loved rhythm. I always thought I had a good sense of rhythm. I've been told that I'm pretty good with a click, naturally. I think that's one of my stronger things. I pride myself on being pretty good. You're Jeremy Hummel. And then when I was 13, I got my first drum kit. I got a junker, got a $300 piece of crap, you know, typical thing, because my parents, you know, well, we'll get him this could be a hobby, this, you know, if it collects dust in the corner of the room, at least we didn't spend a fortune in, you know. I pretty much never stopped playing. And then, you know, you reach that point at the end of high school, and, you know, what do I want to do with my life? And I wasn't totally sure, but I knew music was going to be a part of it. So I headed off to college, going there for music recording, and then, you know, just figured that wasn't for me and switched over to music business. Loved that. Found these guys, and have just been, it's been quite a ride ever since, man. And, you know, and also, when I was learning the drums, I did take lessons with Jeremy Hummel, who, you know, he's almost a local celebrity at this point. He was the drummer for Breaking Benjamin on the first two records, Saturate and We Are Not Alone, and that definitely helped my playing for sure, so, you know, kudos to him. But, so yeah, man, since I was a little kid, just always fascinated with music, and definitely wanted to give it a shot. Why not, you know?
Cool.
That's my story.
And I guess with my story, it's just as, I'll try to make a long story short here. My parents are both very accomplished musicians, so living in that environment definitely helped. I remember starting to play the piano as early as 3.5 years old. So having that, and actually, you know, even starting to record little demo tapes when I was 4 or 5, it was kind of a build-up to always wanting to be doing something with the arts. I always knew that I either wanted to be an actor or a musician or something of that nature in the creative field. And watching my cousins, my two cousins Adam and Ed Kowalczyk, who were both in the band Live, you know, being at their concerts was also a huge influence. You know, as everybody was, I mean, heck, you know, I did have a Backstreet Boys and an NSYNC record when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, but they weren't my first records. My first record was my cousin's record, which was Throwing Copper, and that was a huge influence. John, you were going to say something.
I did too. I don't know if I ever told you that. I definitely had one or two.
And then I used both of those CDs. For a science project for a physics race car, and then I threw them away. It was great. Anyway,
we're learning about each other too, Billy. This is fun.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the first body of music I ever owned was the Space Jam soundtrack on
Yo, I have that. I have that. Oh my God.
the movie Space Jam. I had the soundtrack on cassette, and I listened to it every day. That was the first thing I owned.
But in a nutshell,
man,
always been doing music. I was in musicals throughout high school. I picked up electric guitar when I was 14. I've been in God knows how many bands. John and I met in college, and we've always been really good friends. We actually went through the music business program together, and I also picked up a digital communications major, so I also do graphic design and art design. And ever since then, man, just been doing the music thing. I had a couple of full-time jobs with that, but now I'm a full-time vocal coach, and I'm doing the stuff with... I do a couple of solo things here and there, but definitely this band is my main focus.
Cool, guys. So now, who would you say your musical influences are?
For every single one of us. Well, I used to do pretty much. Yeah. My personal musical influences growing up, like my favorite band was Deep Purple. I loved Richie Blackmore and his guitar playing, and then I got into more like heavier bands like Dokken and Queensryche and just like all those guys that like that iconic guitar riff and those guitar melodies is what I was really attracted to. So that's what you can kind of hear my classic rock, classic metal influences in our music, and that's basically where it came from for me. I grew up listening to hard rock, rhythm and blues, and then expanded on into hard rock and metal.
Cool.
For me, my absolute favorite is Motley Crue. I'm a big fan of the guys personally, just the way I think they handle themselves in the public for the most part. I mean, we could skip over the whole Tommy Lee, Pam Anderson sex tape stuff. I don't, those are some dark times for that band. But overall, I think that they're pretty smart business-wise. And, I just saw them last summer with Kiss. And they just kicked so much ass. I'm standing, I'm sitting there, I'm 22, forget that, I'm standing, okay, I'm standing up screaming. It was great. I'm 22 at the time, and I'm just like, yeah, these bands are still the best. I mean, I do have my fair share of modern bands I like, but, I mean, I saw Aerosmith as well that summer. I got very lucky, and it's unbelievable. I mean, I still think that there are very few bands that can stand up to these bands from long ago, before the digital era, before the Pro Tools, before the drum machine, and the auto-tune. Don't even get us started on that. But so, Motley Crue and a lot of classic rock is a big one. My mom's a big classic rock fan, so I grew up on Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Journey. In high school, I got into Nickelback. I know a lot of people have their opinions on Nickelback. They're either really, really liked or really, really hated. I personally think that Chad Kroeger is a good songwriter, and I've seen that band live, and they are unbelievable. I think a lot of people say, they just, crap on them. Sometimes I think it's because it's cool to crap on them. I don't really know, but another thing, also, obviously being a drummer, they have a phenomenal drummer. Their drummer does not get enough credit. His name is Daniel Adair. He's very good. And then another one, just recently, towards the end of high school, me and my best friend from home, we got just an unhealthy obsession for Avenged Sevenfold. I heard City of Evil. That's the really fast record. I mean, that's just fast. The whole record is just unbelievable speed the entire time, and it was awesome. And I fell in love with that whole thing, and then, I saw them live a few times, and they're another good band, and I love them to death a lot. So, I do like a lot of the big mainstream stuff, man. I mean, I got a lot of stuff on my iPod, but I'm a fan of the bands that really attract a large audience, man. So, those are probably, overall, 3 different kind of avenues of what I listen to. They're at the top for me.
Okay, cool. My turn, I guess. I grew up on, my parents are classical musicians, so I grew up on classical music. My gosh, when I was in the womb, my parents told me that they put Wagner's Ring up against my mom while I was in the womb, and so I listened to classical music from the get-go. And it was an interesting process for me as a teenager, because I had to, pioneer myself through rock and roll and to try to discover it myself. It started really in 5th grade when I started listening to, my cousins in live were a huge constant in that, but they were the only rock band that I really knew of up until, getting into Elvis Presley and all the stuff from the 1950s, and then moving on to, in middle school, I listened to a lot of bands like System of a Down, Godsmack, Mushroom Head. I'm trying to think of some other modern rock bands. Linkin Park was a big one. And then back in high school, when I started around freshman or sophomore year, I moved on to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Got into Audio Slave, and that's when I started. That's when I discovered Chris Cornell, and I was about 14 or 15 at the time, and that had a huge impact on the way that I sing and the way that I wanted to sing. Listening to Chris Cornell, and then I got into Soundgarden and started listening to Led Zeppelin and Soundgarden records all the time, along with Jimi Hendrix, and they were just those 3 were a huge influence on the way that I play rock and roll these days. And also Jack White, listening to the White Stripes, they're a huge lyrical influence. Eminem is a huge lyrical influence, incredibly enough. Really incredible writer, and the fact that he dropped out of the 9th grade and he's I would say that he's the poet laureate of America. Essentially, he's incredible stuff, and so both Jack White and Eminem have been college, I just got into anything and everything, to the point where I'm listening to, like I said earlier in this interview, I'll go from Pig Destroyer to Bon Iver. It really depends on the day, and well, not even the day. It depends on the second. It depends on the mood I'm in at that point, and everything is an influence. Every single thing, not even music. Things just all over the place. Life in general.
Cool, cool, very cool. So now, when you guys aren't writing, rehearsing, or playing out, what do you guys do for a day off? What do you enjoy doing?
A day off. What's that? Usually alcohol involved.
Well, a day off, I like to do absolutely nothing. And sit up on TV.
Yeah, right? Every now and then, we don't have a show on a Friday or Saturday, and then nothing against playing a show. We love that, but it's a relief, man. I'm like, oh, I can sit on my ass today. This is great.
Yep, sit there, light a candle, watch some TV, and
charity coffee. Right, a candle. Sit down with your TV dinner.
Watch a little bit of Days of Our Lives.
As far as when we're together, though, we're pretty dumb, and we still haven't moved in yet together in any way. We all live in complete different corners of Pennsylvania. So when we're together, it's not a day off. When we're together, it's work. It's fun work. It's having a show or it's doing some business. But
there isn't a day that goes by.
Very rarely do we have a day off together.
There's always calls to make. There's always people to respond back to with emails. There really isn't a day that goes by where we're. I would say all of us with the stuff that we do for this band in our music careers, we do put in a 40-hour work week. We all put in we easily put in 6 hours a day, and that's 7 days a week. So you do the math on that.
Right.
Hour for each of us.
Yep. And then once we get that one day where we have our band meeting together and we have an evening to just sit back, have a couple beers, and hang out, it usually just ends up in a band discussion about our future, about new things, about just ideas. And then, by the end of the night, after a couple beers, me and Phil usually get into a friendly argument about something, and then, we wake up the next day and just laugh it out, we fight more than just head, oh my God, it's so bad, we butt heads, no other, but then at the end of the day, we find a way to get along, and...
Well, it's family. Your brothers fight, so,
it really is like that.
Yeah. Cool. I don't want to... Fight is a strong word.
That is a strong word.
It's heavy arguing. I always think it's heavy arguing. It usually is Ben and Phil. And I think one time, Phil, I don't think you were there. I think I was hanging out with Ben, and actually we were arguing.
It's loving banter.
And I went, Ben, let's just stop this, because this is how this always goes. We argue, I yell at you, you yell at me, we have a drink, and then we go, I love you, bro. We hug, and then we go, that was silly. And we literally do it all the time. It's almost like an outlet. Just blow the steam off against one another. It's not really a fight. It's not like...
No, it's not. It's just me throwing out an outlandish idea, and then trying to prove my point the rest of the time.
Yes, we're all really opinionated, but that's because we're all very passionate about this, so we all want our ideas to be heard, and we all want them to come to fruition. I think it's as simple as that. And we're getting better at it, for sure, because we're getting to know each other more.
Cool. So now, what's the most rock star thing that's happened to each of you?
Rock star thing.
I don't really know that anything really rock star.
I know, right? I hate to be a downer.
We're just regular guys that are in the band.
I hate to be a downer. I really do. But my buddies would be like, "So how many girls are you banging, man? How is it out there?" I'm like, dude, we're done at 1. We leave the venue by 2:30, 3 o'clock. Everybody's already gone. I got to drive, so I need to get to drink a lot. And I'm going to bed at 4 a.m. I mean,
I guess the most rock star thing. I was gonna say, I guess the most rock star thing that happened to us was, getting comped at a strip club for free.
Yeah, that did happen once. I guess that's it. We got in there one time for free.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, man, misconception. It's pretty funny. I'm not trying to complain. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. That's the way the life goes. But it's not glamorous at all.
No,
Cool.
absolutely not. The glamour comes from being on that stage and just giving your heart and soul to the people. I mean, that's where the glamour is. I would say the most rock star thing is when we played that sold out show with Pop Evil and Charm City Devils and our boys from True Becoming and Robbing Knoll.
Yeah.
That night. That's the most rock star thing so far. That was an awesome night.
Pretty much. The Dream On cover. That was great.
That was an incredible moment.
Yeah. Mid Atlantic Rock Reviews, man. Shout out to them too. They did a great job. They filmed a good chunk of it. They interviewed us that night. There's some YouTube videos floating around if you want to take a look. It's on their Facebook page and stuff. And that was a great show.
Cool.
Definitely a good show.
Indeed.
Cool, guys. Well, do you have any Spinal Tap moments you want to talk about?
I love that movie so much.
Well,
so far there's been one drummer, me, so that's good.
I didn't become a pile of filmmakers.
I didn't get in a bizarre gardening accident yet, so that's good.
There was one time when we were supposed to play a show full band, and something happened where our bass player got stuck in traffic and could not show up. And on top of that, right before we go on stage, I realized that my guitar was completely broken. So we ended up playing with one vocal, one guitar, and one drummer, and that was just probably the biggest fiasco we've run into.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
that was a while ago, and that just backup equipment.
Yeah.
That was a stressful day.
Yeah, that wasn't. I guess that's Spinal Tap-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've never gone to the wrong venue, or you know what? We do have one. We do have one pretty funny one I just thought of. Our ex-manager out of Susquehanna Entertainment, we had a show at a place called festival called Spite Fest. And it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. We met some guys there in a band. Shout out to them called Audio Box. Check them out. They are a great band, and they're now good friends of ours. And our ex-manager said, "Don't worry about bringing your gear. You'll find shit." So we brought nothing. We brought no drum set, no rigs, nothing. And we showed up, and they went, "Where's your gear?" And we went. We were told we didn't have to bring our gear. And they were like, "Okay, you better find a band that has their gear." We felt like idiots.
Yeah.
We felt that was pretty Spinal Tap, I guess. We actually showed up to a festival outdoors with a nice evening slot on a nice stage with nothing, and but we made it work thanks to Audio Box.
Cool.
Yeah. And a couple other guys too. I mean, there were a couple other bands that helped us let us set up all their equipment too, which was really, really cool. Yeah, I mean, if anything, Terry, I think the venue had told Terry that they had equipment there, so it was just one of those things that happened, and but we got through it. It is pretty funny.
Showed up to the festival with no gear. Okay.
Nice.
But we made it work.
Very cool. So now, what advice would you guys have for bands just starting out?
Well, I advise for a band just starting out, if a band is just starting out and they're serious and they really want to do it, they have to actually put forth the time and effort that it takes to get where you want to go. A lot of people think that, you're going to play a show and the guy with the fat cigar is going to be standing in the back of one of their shows, and then all of a sudden they're just going to make it. But really, that never happens. You have to make sure that you can be by yourself and fund yourself and do everything that a record label would do for you by yourself before you think you're going to go anywhere, because the record labels, they don't really care about the little guys anymore. They want guys that are well established and can take care of themselves on their own before they want to invest any money. So that would be my advice. Just make sure you're serious and put forth the time and effort to get where you want to be. It's a full-time job.
My biggest piece of advice, it would be pretty much two things. One, pretty much going along the same lines, just a general thing, and a lot of musicians don't want to hear this because they don't like business. But the more you can learn about much more than just playing your instrument, the better. It is so important these days to know about publishing and what a 360 deal is, and whether or not it really is a good idea to sign a major label deal if you were given one. And
you need a sync license,
you need to know that. The more you know, the less you're going to have to, pay for help, pay for a lawyer, pay for consultation. You're going to have to do that stuff, but the more you can know by yourself, the more confident you're going to feel as you continue to tread in the waters that you don't know about.
And the less likely you're going to get taken advantage of, too. The more knowledge you have, the less... there are so many bands out there that, will chop at the first opportunity that they get, and it will get screwed over. I've seen it time and time again with friends of mine that have been in bands, and you have to protect what you have. It's very important.
And my other thing, and this might seem kind of obvious, but I can't stress it enough. You have to build a presence on social media. It is extremely important. Facebook has taken us to levels in a year and a half that we didn't think were possible. It lets you stay connected with your fans, and you don't want to use that to just say, hey, we're playing a show, and hey, buy our CD, and hey, we just came out with a shirt. You want to do that, of course, but you also want to get on there and be personable. We post goofy crap on there all the time. We started off starting to build a buzz for this new record project and an idea. My favorite comedy is Anchorman, right? So I went and I found like a sticker, meme, whatever you want to call it, type of thing that was just Will Ferrell, mustache and all, and it just said, it's kind of a big deal. And I posted it, and people loved it. I mean, goofy stuff like that, just to have fun with your fans, means a lot. It makes a difference, and it when you need your fans to go to that show and buy that ticket, they're going to do it because they feel more connected to you. Social media in general, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, so important. So important.
Cool, guys. Now, are you guys on a label? Are you looking for one?
At this point, no. We are
where we're at right now.
We have our own label. We're taking care of everything internally, and we're self-managed, and we're releasing the album on our own. And if we get to a point, though, where we have, if it gets to a point where the demand is high enough, where we do need help, we'll definitely reach out. But that has yet to be determined.
Cool.
I think a big thing, too, with that is this band is a family, and I think that's how a band needs to be treated. And so if we want to work with another manager or, a publishing company and anything related to furthering our career, they're going to be a part of the family. So we really want to get to know you. It's nothing personal. It's not to say you can't do your job, but we're not just going to go, okay, yeah, sure, man. We want to know you. We want to see how you work. We want to get your personality traits down. We want to figure that out. And there could definitely be a time where that's necessary. But right now, I can honestly say we're doing okay. We're doing okay doing things on our own, and we're going to keep doing that.
And so we have that we're learning so much about the business and making so many connections. And it's a really rich experience on all spectrums. We get to meet so many people and have so many cool, as I said, experiences. And it's something that I feel like, already, we're benefiting from it. We're learning so much from it.
Cool. Guys, now, what would you say is the ultimate goal for Small Town Titans?
say to make money doing this for a living, man. I'd say if we could get to a point where we can play this professionally for a living, we did it. And anything else on top, that's icing on the cake, man.
Exactly. And we're not talking about, like, you know, having the mansions and having the gold-plated toilets or anything. We're talking about being able to support our families, get our kids through college, having that nice car, having that good house, having that good plot of land that everybody deserves. You know,
you don't have kids yet. Our future kids. Future kids. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Hey, man, they don't know how old we are.
That's true. They do not know how old we are.
How young we are, actually.
Cool. Now, you guys have any upcoming shows you want to talk about?
We do have two pretty cool ones coming up. On Saturday, this coming Saturday, we are playing the Village in Lancaster. For what is being billed as the Big Rock Show, literally. And it's us, it is A Million Drones, it is Madam Ink, and it is Chemical Red. And, you know, we have not played any shows, I don't believe, with any of those bands, but I've heard good things about them all, and I've been told by people that it should be a pretty good show. It's three decent local acts all coming together on one bill. We do have tickets available on our website for that. That's smalltowntitans.com. And you click on our shop, and then from there you want to click on merchandise, and tickets are $6. And then we also next Sunday, January 20th, we're doing an awesome Battle of the Band show with presented by Guerrilla Music, which is a promotion company down there. And
amazing show.
That's at the Rusty Nail in Ardmore, which is right outside of Philly. Tickets for that are $8, I believe.
Only $8.
That's on a Sunday. It starts at 4 o'clock. I know it sounds like an odd time, but it's Philly, so it's going to be packed. It's going to be a good time, and we're trying to rally some bands to get down there. And there's a lot of good bands down there. There's Grace's Downfall, as we've mentioned, are good friends of ours. There's a band called Crowbot there that we know that we dig a lot. So it's going to be a good show, and a pretty friendly competition, I think, too. Because I'm telling you, man, there are some bands there that we know firsthand are really, really good live bands around here. So I'm looking forward to that too.
Very cool. Now, where can the listeners find Small Town Titans?
Well, anybody can go to smalltowntitans.com, facebook.com/smalltowntitans, twitter.com/smalltowntitans.
Everywhere, man. On iTunes, Spotify, wherever. Amazon.
If you just go to Google and type in Small Town Titans, the first 2 pages of links are us, and all the images are us too. I mean, we're really accessible, and we're pretty happy about that.
If you cannot find us somewhere that we should be, let us know, and I'm going to be mad. As far as I know, we're everywhere. Everywhere.
Very cool. Well, last song I want to play before I let you guys go is Party in Hell. What can you tell us about that tune?
Yes.
Well, that was the tune. Like a tile.
We were kind of having a love affair with AC/DC at the time, and we were just, as listening to that band, and we were coming up with this riff, and I came up with these lyrics, and they were kind of half joking in a way, but when it all came together, it really gelled very nicely, and it's one of our funnest tunes, and we have a blast playing it, and everybody that we play that song for loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah, every head in the audience is nodding. That's a good one. And actually, it got nominated by the 717 Entertainment Music Awards. We're up on that for Band of the Year, Rock Band of the Year, and Single of the Year. And you can actually vote now. You can vote once per week, and you can vote again next week. Then obviously it's only 2 weeks long. The links are on our Facebook page as well as our website. And Party in Hell is up there for Single of the Year. And last time I checked, it's first. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we're not complaining about that.
So everybody out there, if you can, just get on the internet. You can go to our Facebook. There's links there, and just shoot us a vote, and it'll be greatly appreciated. And we'll stay in contact with you.
Very cool.
We'll be playing at the award show. We were asked to perform. I believe that's on March 23rd. That could be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the date. That should be a lot of fun.
Cool, guys. Well, guys, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We appreciate
Absolutely, man.
And
Thanks for listening to all three of us chatterboxes, man.
yeah, anyway.
you guys are more than welcome back here anytime. You know, just drop me a line and we'll hook you up.
Absolutely. All right, love to come back.
Thanks very much.
All right, you guys hang on 1 second. Listeners, check this out. This is Small Town Titans with Party in Hell, and we'll be right back.
Where is the Jaeger? Where are my ladies? Where are the ingredients that make this place go fucking crazy? Molotov cocktails put them up into the sky, and then the fire rain down. And up before the ride, 'cause there's a party in hell tonight, a party in hell. There's a party in hell, and you're all invited. Party in hell tonight, a party in hell. There's a party in hell, so prepare to be ignited. Hail, Mr. Johnson, cheers to Kurt Cobain. These are the names that tell us why we're so in shade. We're junkies for the road, that's paved with good intentions. And we're so loaded up, I believe we failed to mention there's a party in hell tonight, a party in hell. There's a party in hell, and you're all invited. Party in hell tonight, a party in hell. There's a party in hell, so prepare to be ignited. Thank God for being my brakes and the devil for being my auxiliary. I thank God for being my brakes and the devil for being my auxiliary. I thank God for being my brakes and the devil for being